subscribe? Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Joshua, what's up, brother? Hop on in. Let's get some folks in here. Let's get
Ooh, that's crazy. I was last.
go.
I had a question.
Yeah,
So
go
I
ahead.
lived in So I watched a lot of your stuff. I didn't think I was that's so crazy. I think it was gonna get picked. I apologize.
It's okay.
So I had a question about because I'm kind of learning about FBAs, but I live in I'm just be honest, Springfield, Ohio, and I was going to ask you about the narrative about African Americans versus Haitian immigrants that were landed in our town, right? And what was your take on it? Because what if I can give you just a brief rundown, regardless of what you read, what happened was that the immigrants kind of ran over our town. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Haitian immigrants at all. But when ICE came and started to take everybody up, when ICE came, because we'd never seen stuff like that before, we never had that type of problem, right? Now it became all you Negroes look alike. So I was wondering your take on FBAs versus Haitian immigrants as far as trying to be met with a livable wage from certain corporations, that jobs that they didn't steal, but they got taken advantage of as well. But I get kind of confused because I don't want to do other African American or African American people wrong, but I don't want to do Haitian immigrants wrong.
Now
You
let
see
me
what
ask
I'm
you
saying?
this. What's your lineage, Josh? Where's your family from?
I'm from Cleveland.
Okay. How did they get to Cleveland? Where were they before Cleveland?
From what I understand, they've always been Ohio. I haven't gone far as back as what tribe they're from Africa, but I know they've always been African American.
Okay. I mean, when do y'all have family reunions?
Yes,
Where do y'all have them?
in Cleveland.
And where do the
I'm
people
I'm
come
only
from?
30. I'm only 35.
That's okay. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
My family had family reunions when I was like 4 and 5, and I remember. And I got a
Yeah.
lot of half my relatives in Cleveland. I got a lot of relatives in Cleveland, all over. But
Awesome.
yeah, but are there any immigrants? Any immigrants in your family?
None. No,
So nobody immigrated nowhere.
no, not from what I know. No, not at all.
Really?
Not from what I understand. No. I've never heard a story about every story that I've heard from my grandfather, my great grandfather. They've always been either. I mean, the furthest south they may go is like Chillicothe, Ohio, but I've never heard anything
So
about anything
so
out
they
of
never
that.
told you of no other country or any plantation that they were on?
No. In fact, my grandmother, she claims, was to be one of the first African American women that did something in the Air Force, but she's like 175. But that's not what I'm talking about, Tariq. I
No,
mean,
because I'm just trying to get an understanding here. Just because
yeah,
you said you're trying to learn about the FBAs as if there's an other thing going on. Usually,
yeah,
people who say that are not of the lineage.
yeah. But I just heard about FBA, as far as the organization is, maybe like 3 weeks ago when I was on the Political Live a couple weeks ago.
What organization? What did you hear about an organization? What's that?
No, I did. I just heard about. I think I was on another Political Live. Whether they were informed or whether they were not informed, but they claimed to be FBA, and they specifically said your name, and I was like, I know that name because I saw, some of the films that you had produced when I was younger.
Right. So
Right.
but who told you it was an organization? What's the organization they told you about?
That part. Apparently, there was some type of. We're going down a rabbit hole. I'm talking about immigration,
But
but
no,
to be
but no,
honest,
but no,
to
no. We
be
got
fair,
it.
to be
We got it.
transparent, for real. All jokes aside, they told me that there was two different people that you and another specific person, and that I'm cliff noting here. Um, I'm paraphrasing that there was some type of disagreement, and one organization is not the same as the other, or
Okay.
whatever mission it is that they use moving forward. But I do believe that he was severely misinformed because that person didn't come back to the live that I was in at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just,
Okay.
yeah,
Whatever, they were in a room lying. Whoever that was, they were in a room lying.
correct. A lot of people came in and did say that.
Right. So that's not true.
Yeah, there was
So
only
now,
35 people in that live at the time.
okay. Now, why were you in a room with people lying like that? That's not because I
It
want
was
to know
it was
that
a
too.
it was a Democratic live that I was discussing with back and forth about how both parties were pretty much under the same agenda of corruption, and then he came all hoity-toity trying to explain to how the FBA organization wasn't also divisive or corrupt.
Okay.
But
Now,
he was incorrect. Yeah, it was a whole Oshkosh bagosh. I
okay,
was not there.
but for the record, there is no organization called FBA. There's no organization.
Very well.
It's not an
But
organization. When we talk about FBA, Foundation of Black America, that's a lineage. That's it. We're only talking about a lineage. That means your lineage goes back to the beginning of the United States, and there's no immigrants. That makes sense?
yes, sir.
Okay.
I do want to know though. What do you think about this administration as far as like the divisiveness between the Haitian immigrants and the African Americans that currently live here in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know too much about the nuances. 'Cause I don't live in Springfield, but I just know there was some issues with immigration, and a lot of people were just being dropped off into black neighborhoods, and a lot of people in the community kind of they weren't really feeling that. And a lot of people of our lineage, they're just really not co-signing a lot of immigration at this point, where folks are just kind of being dropped off in these black neighborhoods, and we don't know who they are, and there's all types of crimes being committed, and people are just not feeling the immigration thing right now. Boy, this noise. Hold on.
That's not me.
Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that noise. I don't know what that was, but now you a Democrat guy? You a Democrat voter, Josh?
No,
Okay, because you said you were in a space talking about Democrats or something like that.
it was a Democratic space, but yeah, no, I don't really vote.
Okay. Okay. All right. But you understand what foundational Black American is, Josh?
I think you said it's just a lineage, but there's no group funding toward an agenda. I'm confused. If it's not an organization,
No.
it's
What?
just a lineage.
No. There's no group funding. Lineages don't really have group funding. So
Interesting. Okay,
yeah.
I just wanted to know if there was any type of divisiveness on your point of view
No.
regarding immigrants flooding a space where other African Americans are,
Right.
right? And if there's some type of divisiveness between the two, do I become, less black, or are they more black, or well, how do we fight for the rights of blackness if we have been flooded upon by different forms of blackness from other countries?
Now, how do you feel? Let me ask you this, John. How do you feel about immigration?
Oh, well, there's that. I have no problem with anybody else having the same rights as everybody else. I do think that the system of immigration does need reform. However, it's never really affected me until it affected me, and that was just kind of this year where it became directly relative, right? But it's not to say that I don't like it. I just see the effects of my friends and neighbors and how it is like the property value goes up, or they practice group economics that we do not. They get taken advantage of by companies, and then they go in for lower wages. And now that ICE has come in, they've taken most of them out. Now those companies are now hiring, but they're not hiring for the wages that we were originally asked for. So now the wage that we're asking for now is higher. And I'm not just saying it's specifically the Haitians' fault. However, the issue is that when African Americans here group together to say, "Hey, we need this thing," or when ICE was coming, it's kind of like it gives that all you Negroes look alike
Right.
aspect, and
Now,
I don't want to.
now, Josh, let me ask you this. How do you feel? Because this is the big conversation. How do you feel about reparations, specifically for foundational Black Americans? How do you feel about that?
I feel, as far as foundational Black Americans, I do feel as though some type of reparations needs to be had, and in some way or another. I do feel as though, like I said, in the end, all you Negroes look alike, right? So I feel like we would end up biting the cost on the back end. And where does the money come from? What does the logistics look like? I do have some concerns about that. I haven't really waited enough for its firm, but I do believe though that should happen. Some type of reparations needs to happen,
Like
even
what?
if it's
Like
in
what?
even if it happens in some type of trust, land, any type of things that we can earn in equity, like specifically property, grants, like loans, permissions, access, capital, those types of things. I think
Okay,
would
so
be more.
do you think that the reparations should be strictly for the lineage, or should all Black people in America get it?
No, I think. Well, I mean, that logistics would be wild, but that is a very interesting statement. I don't think I've ever looked at it that way, to be quite honest, and I don't know enough to know that I don't know enough. If that makes sense.
Okay. All right, Josh. All right. Well, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for allowing me up. I
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's FBA, by the way, guys.
Nope,
Yeah, I don't think that brother was FBA at all.
not at all.
Not at all. What's up, Kevin?
Peace, brother Tariq. I think Josh is a tether. He's just, he trying to come off in a certain way. Yo, I've been in a lot of these spaces on TikTok with many tethers, man. I'm sure you already know about it, but they are making these lives where they're dissing you. They're trying to say you are the leader. I'm like, no. Tariq Nasheed came up with the right phraseology for FBA, and we accept it, we agree with it. Doesn't matter who, and I appreciate you. I think you're doing the right thing, but
Yes.
it doesn't matter who the hell it was. It could have been anybody. It could have been a nerd, Chinese nerd, who said, you know what? I think FBA is right. And I would have been like, oh shit, this person came up with the right phraseology that works for who we are, and I accept that. It just so happened to be another FBA brother who we agree with and who's been doing the right thing for a long time.
Right.
I try to tell these people this stuff, but they keep on saying, oh, no, they asked me this stuff. They said, how can you prove that FBAs were here before Columbus or the Olmecs were FBAs? I'm like, look, they were black. They were classified as black. They were classified as Negro. This is what it is. Don't try to rewrite history, but they keep rewriting history. I just wanted to share that with you, let you
Thank
know
you, brother.
about
Listen, family. Let me just keep it. Thank you, brother. Listen. Stop feeding the parasites. All right. Just like I talked about earlier about how parasites need you to feed them by giving them attention. Let's be clear. You don't have to explain nothing to these tethers in their spaces. These people are proactively lying. I want y'all to understand something. These tethers know good and well there is no leader. We're not an organization. They know this. That's why whenever you explain it to them, they just keep saying it again. It's called lying. It's lying tethers. Do not waste your time explaining this in their rooms. This is why they lie. They know if they keep lying, you're going to come in the room. That's what they need. They need you to feed them. They are lying deliberately. These people, I want to drill this in your brain. They know there is no leader. They know this. They know this. The only people who say it is them. I've never said I'm a leader because I'm not. None of you, nobody of our lineage have said I'm following Tariq. Nobody. The only people who tell that lie are tethers. They are deliberately lying. Why? Because this is a powerful movement that we're having. The delineation movement is extremely powerful. And this is the first Black movement that cannot be co-opted, which makes it extra powerful. The movement was designed to not be co-opted because it's a strictly lineage-based delineation movement. And the way it's worded, it can't be co-opted, it can't be infiltrated. So now the tethers, they're trying to redefine what it is. It's not a lineage, nigga, it is a group. And then they start building up other lies on that. It's called lying. You can't explain nothing to a liar. You're wasting your time. All they're going to do is I'm a tether and I say so and lie more. They just want you there so that you can legitimize them. Going in their spaces, explaining ad hominem, ad nauseum, meaning it's basically to them, that's legitimizing them. You understand? We have to let these tethers wither by the vine. You don't go in their spaces. These people are actively lying. Foundational Black American is a lineage. These tethers, they have a colonizer mindset. Everything about them is like a colonizer. What do colonizers do? They show up and start taking resources. That's the first thing. Colonizers show up and say, okay, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. What do Tethers do when they get among us? Any type of minority program, scholarship, HBCU fund, they're going to be the first one in line elbowing us out of stuff that we fought for. Have y'all noticed anytime there's a Juneteenth scholarship, you look at the people who win those scholarships, it's always some Afro-Caribbean or some damn African national. They come over here and be the first ones to get a Juneteenth scholarship somewhere. That's a colonizer mindset. Second thing they do, they try to redefine certain things. You are African. You are not FBA. They try to tell us what our lineage is. They try to redefine who we are so it'll fit their narrative. You are African American. Like me, I'm African American now, and everything you get, I get too, nigga. That's a colonizer's mindset. Also, what do colonizers do? They undermine the native population. They work and do things to cutthroat and undermine them, which is what a lot of tethers do. They do everything they can to undermine us while extrapolating resources. You understand? So when these people start lying about our lineage, understand that's very deliberate. Why do you think these people are lying 24 hours a day? Why do y'all think they have simultaneous spaces running nonstop lying about our lineage? That's called power. That's power. You understand? And tethers, you cannot redefine who we are. I don't have to explain shit to no tether. You ain't of our lineage. You understand? Listen, I want y'all to understand something. These tethers are powerless. Yeah, I don't give a shit about them lying. That's why I don't be in their rooms. I don't give a shit about these lying tethers. How's that working? Them lying on us all the time, lying about me all the time. How is that working? Look at the numbers up here. How are those lies working? My numbers are bigger than ever right now. Look up here. How is that working? Don't care. These tethers are ineffective when you stay on truth to power. We're speaking truth to power and we're standing up for our lineage. Yeah? That's what it is. And this is the new norm. We're foundational Black Americans. We ain't hating on nobody, and we're going to make everybody put some respect on it, which is what they're doing. You ain't got no choice. And now, listen, we got to understand something. There's a lot of ops from the alphabet community, especially when these people start talking about FBA, that's the CIA. That's called a projection. Yeah, that's a CIA, FBI tactic to accuse other people of being who they are. Yeah, the CIA and the FBI, they're the ones who have anonymous people running around lying all the time. That's the FBI. That's what they do. Yeah, the CIA and the FBI have all types of disinformation campaigns running simultaneously, which is what these tethers do. You sitting in rooms lying 24 hours a day, that's FBI shit. And Democrat shills too. A lot of these people are Democrat shills. We better understand that. Because the Democrats feel a certain way about the delineation movement because that caused them to lose the election. So you better believe that they got a bunch of people on the payroll that's sent to muddy the waters of delineation talk. That's why that whole thing with Mona Leo, that rapper, co-opting the term Solon and then flipping the script, that was a Democrat play, and people are seeing it for what it is. You understand? This woman got this song, did this song about Solon, and Solon means a foundational Black American. That's a person of this lineage. So instead of doing the song and living up to the spirit of the song, she's on some, well, I just want unity. We all got to unify. Nobody said we weren't unified. That's kind of a given. Us acknowledging our lineage doesn't mean we don't want to unite with other people. But why are you emphasizing uniting with everybody when other people talk about lineage-based praise and props for their ethnic group? They talk about the greatness of the ethnic group. We got to really break down that Mona Leo thing. We got to really break it down because, again, that song Sexy Solon, even when I saw the video, there were a lot of problems. That's why I didn't really give it props like that because, again, it was too many red flags in there. I knew it was some Democrat play. Number one, when they had that buffoon, that Conscious Lee dude in there, I said, okay, this is some bullshit right here. When they had him in there, this is some bullshit. Also, the video was about Lineage, but in the video, they had them looking like very over the top stereotypes. That was another thing. You're talking about our lineage, but you have all the stereotypes of blackness, which is hood, colorful hair, and all these gold teeth and all that. That's one aspect, but we're talking about lineage pride. That's not what you prop up as lineage pride. Or if you're going to prop that up, you're going to have a balance. They didn't have a balance in there. That was a red flag because, again, that's a Democrat play. The Democrat likes to show that image of blackness. That's why, remember when the Democrats were trying to do black voter outreach and they had that get your booty to the polls and had people twerking and go to the polls and they had them on stripper poles and they had no voting, no vucking, no voting. Y'all remember that? That's the image of that the Democrats like of us. They like to show blackness as just inherently ratchet. That's why when Kamala Harris they're going on a campaign trail, they got Megan Thee Stallion out there twerking. And I love Megan Thee Stallion, but there's a time and place for everything. You see? So there were a lot of red flags with that Sexy Solon video early on. But understand the Democrat play with that whole Mama Leo thing. This was a play that they're running. They understand that this delineation movement is a very hot topic right now. This is the way. They know it. These people do all types of analytics. They know what it is. They see this delineation movement, foundational Black American, people are claiming their lineage and we have self-identified on our own terms. That's a major power move. Because see, Black people, we've sat up here and let folks name us for the longest. We've let other people define us and name us like we're some damn pets. We said we are foundational Black Americans, and that caught on, and that's very rare, where a group of people name themselves and it catches on like this. You understand? Nothing is caught on like this, a self-identifying movement. Nothing is caught on like this, where we self-identify. That's a power move. And when we make power moves, the dominant society, they immediately go on alert. So now they can't do the whole minority coalition straight up. They know we're going to reject that. When they start talking about, hey, we all people of color, yeah, we ain't on that. That's why this immigration thing, they're getting whooped in the ass because we ain't stepping up acting as bodyguards for nobody. They see that, yeah, we ain't jumping in the immigration argument. And them trying to scare us, like, well, y'all, they got us, y'all gonna be next. That's not working on us either. That's not working on us either. So now they got to use different tactics. So now you're going to see more of this. You're going to see people coming in trying to act like they're of the lineage or act like they're for the lineage, and they're going to do some baiting and switching, just like with that Mauna Leo. See, the Democrats, they're doing this cultural co-opting to dilute lineage-based messaging. The Democrats, they understand that culture is the most powerful tool to really sway public opinion, especially with the Black youth. And by injecting Pan-African and immigrant flags in a song that should have been about unapologetic foundational Black American or Solon pride, see, that's a co-opt. They know that tactic is going to dilute the clarity of the grassroots message of delineation. And it muddies basically the distinction between lineage-based political demands and a vague Pan-African identity. So they start using that unity rhetoric to basically silence legitimate foundational Black American grievances. Because see, that Mauna Leo, they were out here gaslighting everybody. running around here. Well, I'm about unity. If y'all ain't with unity, y'all just shut the F up. I'm all about unity. This ain't about unity or lack thereof. That's gaslighting. You see, that's a gaslighting tactic. Nobody was talking about disunity. We say, hey, the song was supposed to be about Solon is about foundational Black American pride. Where's the pride with all these flags? Well, we got to unify. We got to be unified. Okay, but why then make a song about Pan-Africanism then? Why would you make a song about sexy Solon, a song that's lineage based, and then shame everybody and try to guilt everybody into saying that we all got to be unified and all lives matter, and if a cop pulled me over, they ain't... What kind of shit is that? Why call the song Solon? Call it something else. Yeah, you use the term Solon for a reason. Yeah? So you're trying to reframe the foundational Black American critique as divisive or hateful, using that Black unity, you weaponizing the Black unity talk. Yeah? So we got to understand where these people are coming from. That was a Democrat play, man. That was a Democrat finesse. And we're going to start seeing a lot of that. Everybody hit those hearts up there, man. Let's get these hearts going. Everybody hit them hearts. All right, let me get some more folks in here. Here, I got my brother right here. This is Brother Marak. This is the creator of the term Solon right here. I got my brother Marak right here. Brother Marak, how you doing, fam?
Yo, Tariq, how you doing?
I'm
Um,
good.
I'm doing all right, man. It's nice. It was nice seeing you again at the Hidden History Museum.
Yes,
But
sir.
of course, so yeah, I had to address this. Of course, one thing I did want to say is that we did an interview with Billboard not too long ago,
Oh, wow.
and even in that interview, I could tell the way they were trying to frame the questions was everything around Pan-Africanism, and I had to shut that down quickly. If
What
you
they
look,
asked, what were they saying?
so what was my idea of the Pan African unity and the visuals of the video, things of that nature, because they knew that, to be honest, most of the lyrics aren't really Pan African, so they had to target the visuals by saying
Yeah,
things like the flag and things of that nature, questions about consciously. So I already knew certain questions was being framed around Pan Africanism. I knew the agenda was very high at that moment.
yeah,
Um, and then, other than that, though, I wanted to make sure we understood that Pan Africanism is vampirism, it is extraction. And I have made that very clear on the Solon site as well. We have to make sure that we understand that Pan Africanism is extraction, because if Pan Africanism is not centering and fighting for our reparations, our lineage based reparations, if it is not also fighting for our self identity, being Solon or being FBA, then it has no use for us. It is nothing but a leech, it is a parasite. So we have to make sure we understand that. And I think they understand that it is understood when we stake our claim and we stand on it.
yes, indeed. My man, good stuff. And when is the article going to come out?
Oh, it came out already. It came out. You can go read it at just type in Billboard Mona Leo or Solon. I'm pretty sure it'll pop up for everybody to see. You will see my responses as well as hers. They edited some stuff, but the good stuff is, I think, the good crook stuff is in there.
Okay, cool. My man. And thank you so much, Brother Marak. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, that's Brother Marak in the building. All right, let me get some more folks in here. I had this sister up, and she must have got on by mistake. Okay, everybody hit those hearts. Let's get up to 500,000 likes. Okay, let's get the heartbeat going. All right, everybody, if you can hit the hearts and then throw the gifts in. If y'all want us to keep going, you want me to keep going, family? We chopping it up. If y'all want me to keep going, let's throw some gifts up there and hit them hearts. All right. If y'all want me to keep going, there you go. Thank you for the chain. All right, let's throw them gifts up and let's get the hearts going. Let's get them hearts popping, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's keep it going. We're chopping it up. All right, and also if you want to get in, raise your hand while you're putting the gifts up. Ty Kang, shout out to Ty Kang, shout out to Ashley. Thank y'all guys. All right. If y'all ready to get up, okay. Ty Powell, respecting my brother Ty Powell. All right. Let's get on. Try to get some of these folks in. All right. Slipping Darkness. All right. Slipping Darkness. Hop on Slipping Darkness. I'm going to try to get Ty Powell in here. Hold on, Ty. Let me get my brother Ty in here.
Hello?
Hey, brother, what was that? Slipping, what was that buzzing, brother? Yo, Slipping. Yo, Slipping.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Slipping.
That's not. I'm here.
How you doing, brother? What was that
Is this
buzzing?
Tariq?
Yeah, this is
Eh,
Tariq.
yeah, it was my headphones from my Xbox. I was like gaming. I was listening to you,
Oh,
sir.
okay. I thought it was a vibrator or something. I'm like, hey, you can call back later when you're
Nah,
done.
nah, my
Okay.
hey, no, no
Yeah,
bussy over here. No
okay,
bussy
okay. I
over here,
mean,
man.
if you need to make a couple of dollars, I wasn't going. I don't want you to call up and But what's on your
Nah. I'm sorry.
mind?
Hey,
What's on
it's
your
just a
mind, man?
pleasure to talk to you. I'm glad to see you over here on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
I wish we were more of us was here when they jumped you when you first came over. That kind
Oh,
of made me mad, but I'm
I
glad
was
to see
good.
you swinging the sword now, sir.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
good. I was good. I had the fly swatter for them tethers, so I was good. Yes, indeed, man. But I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you so much, man. Ty, what's up, Ty? Ty Powell.
Hear me now?
I can hear you. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Jamaican Yardie that was sitting up here talking about, we were slaves and all that and all this. Jamaica's the size of New Jersey, and there's only 2.1 million Jamaicans living there and 5 million on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And comparing a Jamaican to an FBA is like a ninth grade JV basketball player comparing himself to Michael Jordan. It's no comparison. I mean, 43 million people versus 2. It's not even a comparison.
Oh yeah.
It's no comparison. And
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
land.
Real talk. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you, brother. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on here. All right, let's get let me see. I'm gonna let a lot of people up so we can chop it up. Okay. All right. Yeah, what's up, brother? Hop on, brother.
You hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, Bomb?
What's up? It's Polka Dotter from X.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Pope?
I'm good. I wanted to actually tell you what my name is. My name is Jameer.
Jamil, go ahead. Okay.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to echo what you said last space. I just listened to it. There are definitely psychological effects when it comes to racism. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, but I graduated from Menor, Ohio. And anybody who know Menor, it's white as shit.
Yeah.
And there'll be times where other students they would say something or it'd be a look, or they would just say the N-word directly and immediately I would go into like this fight or flight shit. My armpits would start sweating. It'd be weird. Like it wouldn't do anything to me. It wouldn't be an aggressive, but just I could detect what the hell their intention was, and it immediately sent like a weird ass reaction. So there was that. And also wanted to ask you, do you think by chance the Africans who weren't sent over here, part of our ethnogenesis, how likely is it that they were the real Jews or Israelites enslaved? Because it don't make sense how the Bible tells us the Jews would be enslaved if they left God, but the Jewish people it flipped for some reason. So do you think that they're part of our lineage in any way? Because I've heard kumbaya is some type of Hebrew word, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, all the people that got dumped on them plantations, we all got kind of mixed together with each other, and that's what it is. There were some of different religions, different faiths. There was some of the indigenous people had their own religious faiths, so it all just kind of got jumbled together, and then we started doing the Christian thing. So
I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. 'cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my